What's up everybody, it's RobinGaming here. So this is going to be a little bit of an experiment. We don't actually know right now if we're going to continue this series, if this is something we're going to do regularly, but I am joined here by Oscar and by Callum, and this is an idea we were really excited about. Of course, we're big Breaking Bad fans, and now that Better Call Saul has started, we pretty much want to be doing reviews. So we're going to do that right now for the very first episode that we just watched. And yeah, if the response is great, you know, if a lot of you are interested in these kinds of videos and show your support, then we will definitely continue making these. But anyway, Better Call Saul started yesterday evening in America. We saw the episode today, actually, just now, and we're pretty much going to be talking about it. So I first want to know, you know, first impressions from you both. So I'd say, Callum, go ahead. What did you think of the first episode so far, or like the series in itself?
I don't know how badly I'm going to lag because Robin and Oscar keep having a go at me for it because my internet's so crap. But I thought it was a really good episode to like start the series off. There's like there's a lot of Breaking Bad references that came through. So there was like the appearance of Mike, halfway through the episode, and then right at the end. For you who haven't seen it, I'd like shut the fuck up. But
now we can just spoil
the scene at the end where Tuco appears, like where Saul's knocking on the door. Like just little key moments like that, like were really interesting to me, and it like brought me into the series and how it's going to evolve like over the next 10 episodes of this series, to be honest. So yeah, Oscar.
Yeah, I thought it was actually really good. Like, I mean, I only saw I finished Breaking Bad. I think it was early December of last year. So like, I'm probably like the newest person to see the whole series out of like us three anyway. So yeah, I kind of like it was kind of fresh in my mind. So I thought it was really, really good. Like it followed like the whole roots of the series. It was like the same kind of shooting. It was like pretty much almost exactly the same. And obviously it started with, I suppose, straight after the end of Breaking Bad, or at least for Saul anyway, which I thought was actually quite clever and interesting in a way. He seems to have changed quite a lot. He seems to look kind of different, I suppose. But I guess that's part of like the whole kind of him leaving his Saul kind of thing. But anyway, the idea is that he's like, you know, this kind of public defender person in Albuquerque, I think. So I think definitely for the Better Call Saul, it's going to have more of a comedic part for sure, as we saw with the whole kind of severed head like sex thing, which I thought was really funny.
Weird,
it was hilarious. I thought it was really funny. I think it provides comedy to more kind of like serious stuff, and then obviously again more comedy was kind of shown throughout as well. The whole kind of like, you know, getting hit with the kind of skateboarders getting hit. I thought it was not very funny, but it was like kind of like funny setup kind of thing. And obviously right at the end, the whole cliffhanger, which I think is really, really good. I think the way that they're introducing people from kind of like little areas of Breaking Bad into it is quite interesting, and I just wonder how these will kind of fit into the overall story itself. But yeah, Robin.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously I'm like probably the biggest Breaking Bad fanboy ever, so anything like this I just find really, really awesome, you know, to see these kind of references. But about the show itself, like, I think in the beginning I did not really know what to expect, because a lot of people were like, oh, this is going to focus around Saul, so it's going to be more of a comedy kind of show, right? There's going to be a lot more humor in there. But then they themselves made it pretty clear, no, we're actually going to pretty much do the kind of like Breaking Bad style, where it's a lot more about the drama, but still there's a lot of, you know, humor and comedy involved at the same time. But I still think, even though it was that in this very first episode, there were a lot of these funny moments, right? That I'd say, yeah, if that's going to be more present in this show, then I'm very excited about that. And I think so far this was a great episode to start off with, where just a lot of awesome moments. And I mean, let's just talk about the beginning. I mean, how amazing was that? Like, that was just insane, right?
No, like the beginning, like I woke up early this morning at like 5 o'clock in the morning to watch it.
Me too.
As like Robin did as well.
Well, I didn't wake up. I just didn't sleep.
Yeah. Like, okay, he woke up, I woke up to watch it at 5 o'clock this morning, and then I noticed that, like, in the beginning, like, it was referencing, like, I think it was the, like, second to last episode of Breaking Bad, where Saul said that he was going to be owning a Cinnabon somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I noticed how that was a reference, and, like, those references carried on throughout this, but obviously they weren't going to, like, throw all of that sort of stuff into one episode. But the way that they started it, I think that was really good, and it's going to, like, entice, like, Breaking Bad fans to, like, carry on with the series and, like, just keep going with it. So that's what I think, really. Like, Oscar, do you have an opinion, or Ruben?
Yeah, I was just kind of thinking, like, you know, the beginning bit was really, really interesting, and especially it was all black and white, which I thought was quite an interesting thing, because you kind of think that that's kind of to do with more with the past, but it's kind of like a future thing, which is quite interesting. And I actually think that they'll keep doing this quite often. It might actually become like a recurring thing, like they might do it in every episode, kind of like an ending to kind of Saul's story in terms of Breaking Bad anyway, and then obviously explain the past bit. But I think that was a really interesting kind of scene, especially to start off with, because at first you had no idea. You had kind of like, what's this kind of like bakery thing? What's going on here? But yeah, and I thought it was really cool. But yeah, Robin.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a recurring thing that often. Like, I think they're pretty much going to do it every few episodes maybe, because in Breaking Bad you saw that too, where they were kind of like, you know, switching between timelines and stuff, but they wouldn't do it constantly. For example, that Walter White flashback that we got in the last season, where it was pretty much fast forward to the last episode, right? You got that maybe 2 times in the whole season in itself. So I don't think they're gonna do that, you know, that often. But at the same time, yeah, I expect we'll see more of future Saul pretty much. But I thought that the beginning scene was just great, seeing him there. And also, what actually reminded me a bit of Breaking Bad is that you saw this one guy, and Saul got really scared of him because he kept looking at him, and then it turned out he was actually looking at a different person who he recognized. That really reminded me of that one scene in the episode where like Walt is sitting there.
Walt meets Jesse in the middle of
exactly
the
that courtyard thing, right? And the big guy standing there behind the statue or whatever. And Jesse really suspected him to you know, like be one of Walt's bodyguards or whatever, but he wasn't. He was just waiting there for his little daughter or whatever. It was really funny to me. And then as well, when he comes back, right, he comes back to his own house, he gets himself whatever it was, a vodka or whatever, and he sits there, puts the videotape in, and you get these old Saul commercials. I just thought it was amazing. And of course there was also the big twist with Tuco at the end. But yeah, one thing that actually surprised me was that we didn't really see that much of Mike yet in this episode. Callum, what do you think? What did you think of that scene? Do you think we'll see him more often?
I think, like, they've said that that they're gonna be bringing him about more often into the series, right? So, like, it's just, I think it's like just kind of carrying on with Breaking Bad a bit, like, because he wasn't in it much. Like, he wasn't in it to what, end season 2 of Breaking Bad, like when Jane died. So I reckon they'll bring him in more gradually, but he's just the security guard at like a parking complex, or what is it, the police station at the minute or something. Yeah. So if they'll like bring him in later on in the series, like, and evolve him to be like play a bigger part in the series as a whole, I think. So that's really what I think of what's going to happen.
Did you think like those because I watched that part with the 2 skaters, those brothers. Like, what do you think of those characters? Because in the beginning I found them a little, you know, like dorky, or like, yeah, do they really have to be in this series? I was thinking, but then in the end it kind of turned out to be pretty funny, I would say. But in the beginning I was really having doubts. I don't know about any of you.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, kind of linking back to like the whole kind of Mike thing as well. Like, I was thinking, like, it's fine because it's in there, and I think people who watch Breaking Bad, I assume most people who are watching Better Call Saul have watched Breaking Bad, but like, I was thinking, like, was that scene needed? Like, really, was it needed at that point? I don't think it was particularly. I think it was more of a kind of like, well, we'll put him in because Breaking Bad fans want to see him in the first episode thing. But as far as I know, I remember him, I think I remember seeing like an interview or something saying like he's going to be more prominent throughout the series, especially in episode 2. And there's quite a lot of Breaking Bad references in that one, which is coming tonight.
That storyline is going to evolve probably.
Yeah. But the skater kind of thing, I thought, again, like, you know, at first I was thinking, is this needed? Like, what's this kind of here for? But then eventually you kind of see later on that I think the idea was straight from the beginning that they wanted to have this kind of car crash thing, which led to Tuco. I think they just joined that together in that way. I think that's how they did it anyway. But yeah, Callum?
Yeah, like, I saw it and I thought, like, well, the kind of way that the skaters have been involved, like the way that they tried to like get Saul to give them money, and then he like just completely turns it on their head. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, that was great.
And then he uses that to his advantage, well, kind of advantage, a bit later on in the episode. But like, I think it was a good way for him to like kind of start his like criminal lawyer thing off. Like, it's kind of like building blocks to what he's become in like Breaking Bad, I think.
Right.
So I think that's a good way for him to like evolve. Like, it's for him to evolve as a character into Saul Goodman and not be Jimmy McGill.
There was one thing that I really didn't get, and that was that you saw this woman drive off in his car, right? And the plan was that these two brothers would pretty much do the same thing what they did to Saul to this woman. But then when the car arrives and they do that, it's actually this older woman who is like, what, a Tuco's mother or aunt or whatever, sitting in the car. I didn't really get that.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't get that. I didn't get it. It was making
how
sense.
exactly was that not the same person? And then also, the moment they arrive at the house and she's there, she literally steps out the car and acts like nothing happened at the same time, which I thought was very weird. Like, she didn't even act like they just crashed into her car or anything. I didn't really understand that part. I wonder where they're gonna go with that, or if you'll see, you know, exactly back what happened there. Because for now, I thought that was, you know, just a big question mark to me. I don't know if any of you got it or
no, I didn't really, to be honest. Like, it's kind of a bit of a shock to the system when you see like an old character come back in. Like, even though Mike has come back in and like Saul has as well, but obviously because of the show. But like, I did not expect Tuco to be like behind that door holding a gun to Saul's head.
I just have a feeling that something tells me, I don't know, I'm probably going to be wrong with this, but my predictions are usually wrong anyway. But I was just thinking that what if Tuco isn't related to that old woman? What if there's no relation there and you're meant to believe that they're related, but maybe Tuco's holding that woman hostage along with the two skateboarders? Maybe that's what's happening there, and he's, I don't know, it's just kind of a thought that came to my head, but whether that's actually going to be true or not, I don't know. But
I doubt that.
Yeah, no, I doubt that. I don't know. I was just thinking, I was like, well, it could be true, but
don't think you'll hurt yourself.
Of course, yeah, thanks, Callum. But you know, just because Tuco and she was speaking, I suppose, Spanish, I think it probably was.
Yeah, but she screamed like "mijo, mio" or whatever, which is probably something like "son" or something like that, I thought. So
that could be true.
Yeah, and she seems of the same origin, right? So yeah, I don't know. I mean, for now, I think we pretty much covered it all. I actually found that funny with Tuco, because I saw in an interview, and I don't know if that interview was just false or like, I don't know if it was an interview or a certain article, but Tuco apparently wasn't really in Breaking Bad as much. He was only in like 4 episodes until he died, because the character himself didn't really like, or sorry, the actor himself didn't really like playing the character. Because he was saying that he didn't really feel comfortable playing such a violent person, which I thought was very...
I think I saw it that it was that he had another job to do, so that was why he wasn't in it as much. I think I saw that.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Like, I recall reading that at least, so I don't know what exactly was up with that. But for now, I mean, we've pretty much covered it all. So, some final thoughts about the show? You excited where it's headed?
Yeah, I'm sure. I really want to see the whole kind of Tuco thing and how that evolves, because what the link between Saul and Tuco is, I really want to know.
Yeah, and the great news there is that tomorrow we'll get the next episode.
I know. Yeah, that's good.
I cannot wait for that.
Very awesome.
5 AM start.
5 AM once again. Yeah, but anyway, thanks a lot for joining me here, and thanks to all of you for watching. Once again, you want to see more of this, support the video, leave a like and whatever. And then for now, we'd like to thank you a lot for watching.
Check out Greatness Debates.
That as well. Check out Greatness Debates on YouTube. And for now, we'd like to thank you a lot for watching, and we hope to see you again next time.
Oh, Saul, Saul, you better call Saul. He'll fight for your rights when your back's to the wall.